Hello there, Stevos, and given the fact that at the time of recording this video we are literally at the very end of July 2024, and given the fact that we are basically just slightly over 50% of 2024, I thought that I would do this video and check in and let you guys know my top 20 movies of 2024 so far. Now, it is obviously a movie wrap-up video, of course, because it's just under the movie wrap-up banner for this YouTube channel. Now, I am going to say, in all honesty, there is not... I've not seen every movie that has been released so far in 2024. I'm just going to go through the list very quickly, just before we do the countdown from 20 down to 1. But let me just very quickly go through some of the movies that I haven't seen so far in 2024. So that is Hundreds of Beavers, a film called Tuesday, Ordinary Angels, Wildcat, Reunion, I Saw the TV Glow, Drive Away Dolls, Self-Reliance, Wicked Little Letters, Bad Boys Ride or Die, The Exorcism, Thelma, Mean Girls, Love Lies Bleeding, ISS, Bob Marley's One Love, Dune Part 2, and I think that's pretty... oh no, Young Woman at Sea, Kinds of Kindness, Prom Dates, The Greatest Hits, Suncoast, My Spy the Eternal City, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think so. I can't see anything else, unless I think there's actually another film called Marmalade as well, which I haven't seen. Yeah, Marmalade is another one. But aside from that, yeah, so there's quite a few. There's probably around about 20 odd films that I've not seen in 2024 so far. But so far in 2024 though, I have seen around about 95, 96 films in 2024, and I've had to scale it all down to kind of 20 films in terms of the films that I've enjoyed the most so far in 2024. So this list isn't really complete, because I reckon there's some films that I've just listed off there which I do think I may have enjoyed, and it may have appeared in my top 20 movies of 2024 so far. But who knows? I mean, as we go into the second half of 2024, I'm probably going to sit down and catch up on some of those films that have been released so far in 2024. And who knows, maybe by the time we get to the end of December or the end of the year, they may appear in my top 20. We'll wait and see. But in the meantime though, without further ado, let's start the movie wrap-up and start at number 20. You're watching Steve's Movie Wrap-Up, episode 38, top 20 movies of 2024 so far, right here on my YouTube channel, SteveOfficial. Number 20. So at number 20 is The Strangers Chapter 1. Now, just before I do go in any more detail, I just want to let you guys know that my windows are open and I've got a fan blowing on me. So if you do hear any background noise, then it's probably coming from outside, or it might just be my fan just blowing in this direction because it is very hot here in the UK today. But anyway, The Strangers Chapter 1 is at number 20, and I gave it 2 stars over on Letterboxd. So I think it's safe to say that despite it not being the greatest film I've seen in 2024, but for me the film was still decent enough to enter the top 20 films I've seen so far this year, or that was released this year. And I will say that the characters, despite making some dumb decisions throughout the film, like most other characters in horror films, but still I thought it was watchable enough to say that I did at least somewhat enjoy it, and for it to be on this list. Number 19. At number 19 is Back to Black, which I gave 2 stars over on Letterboxd. Now, despite some of the messaging that I didn't so much enjoy in this film, I still thought what they had done in terms of the coverage of Amy Winehouse's life was done in a great way, and I thought the film handled some of the stuff in a rather delicate way, such as like her drug addiction. I thought it was done in a rather sensitive and delicate way, and of course the songs that we hear are from the actress who portrays Amy in this film. She sings the songs, and it does sound a lot like exactly how Amy Winehouse sang those songs that we have all heard before. Number 18. At number 18 is The Watchers, which I gave 2 stars over on Letterboxd. I enjoyed Dakota Fanning's performance in this movie, which was great, and I thought the supporting actors and actresses in this film were also great, and the twist towards the end of the film, I mean, even talking about this film now, I'm still reeling over that twist in this film, which I felt was great and didn't see it coming neither. Number 17. So the next film at number 17 is Sting, which I gave 3 stars over on Letterboxd. Sting surprised me, to be honest, as one of those horror movies that I actually did enjoy, and is also one of those films that I will end up purchasing to keep when it does come down in price on digital. It felt like a horror movie version of the book Charlotte's Web. It just felt rather coincidental that the girl in this film was called Charlotte and she was keeping a spider, but turns out the spider is no ordinary spider, as we find out in the film. It was, for me anyways, a great horror movie, and the performances and the music scoring I thought was rather decent as well. Number 16. At number 16 is Maxine, which I gave 3 stars over on Letterboxd. So Maxine is part of the X trilogy directed by Ty West, and I will say that this felt like an 80s thriller or 80s horror movie, especially the aesthetics in this movie to give it those 80s kind of vibes. I really enjoyed this and love the performances from Mia Goth and Lily Collins in this film as well. Number 15. At number 15 is In a Violent Nature, which I gave 3 stars over on Letterboxd. Despite how slow-paced this thriller or horror movie was, and despite the fact we are mainly following a serial killer around the forest, the death scenes in this film are so brutal and so gory too. It was such a great film, and once again a film made by the horror streaming service Shudder, with it having a short theatrical run. I really can't wait to buy and keep this movie on digital when it does get released later this year, because I will be rewatching it again for sure. Number 14. At number 14 is Immaculate, which I gave 3.5 stars over on Letterboxd. Sydney Sweeney, I thought, did an absolutely great job in the role she played in this film. And despite the fact that this film was released really close to the other film, The First Omen, and if you watch both of them back to back, then you can see the similarities. I thought that out of the 2 horror films, this one, for me anyways, was more of the strongest contender out of the 2. Number 13. At number 13 is Lisa Frankenstein, which I gave 3.5 stars over on Letterboxd. Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse were great in this film, and I did really love the fact that it had those 80s aesthetic vibes, similar to Maxine. But that being said, the music soundtrack was awesome, the acting performances in this were great, and even the story, despite it being a little goofy at times, I thought was rather nice. Definitely a film I would see again for sure. Number 12. At number 12 is Longlegs, which I gave 3.5 stars over on Letterboxd. Now, despite all the hype around Longlegs, and then I go and see it with a friend of mine in the cinema, we both felt rather disappointed that it wasn't as scary as what people were making it out to be through reviews on social media that we had read beforehand. That being said, the performance from Nick Cage was great, and he really felt like an unhinged character you'd find in a thriller or horror movie. That being said, after seeing this movie, if you go back and rewatch this, which is something I will do later this year, by the way, but the devil can be seen in the background, and according to most people on social media, the devil is spotted in the background around 15 times in this film, which I didn't notice. I didn't pay attention to that detail on first watch, so we'll definitely be keeping an eye out on this when I do rewatch it again soon. Number 11. At number 11 is Ultraman Rising, which I gave 3.5 stars over on Letterboxd. So I absolutely loved the animation style used in this film, and despite there already being a series on Ultraman on Netflix, it has made me want to see the series on Netflix, and there is the possibility of there being more of these films made in the future if it is given the green light. And if they do make them, then I would be happy to watch them and review them, whether they are on Netflix, the same as the film and the TV series, or whether those films end up being made and released on another streaming platform. Number 10. At number 10 is The Bike Riders, which I gave 3.5 stars over on Letterboxd. So I was very surprised. This is one of my favourite movies of the year, and coming in at number 10 but I really did enjoy the format of the film, the way the story was told, and the acting performances from the likes of Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, and Norman Reedus as well. Definitely a film I would be happy to see again.
Number 9.
At number 9 is Stop Motion, which I gave 3.5 stars over on Letterboxd. So Stop Motion is one of those films that actually terrified me watching this. It was really weird, really bizarre, and I'm going to say rather nightmare fueling. Even to this day, I'm checking under my bed to make sure that there are no stop motion characters under my bed or trying to crawl up onto my bed. I think that scene in particular will be embedded into my brain for a really, really long time now. But this is definitely a great horror movie not to be missed in 2024 from the streaming service Shudder.
Number 8.
At number 8 is The Fall Guy, which I gave 4 stars over on Letterboxd. So Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling have got some great chemistry in the film, and despite the film being a little silly and goofy at times, I still enjoyed some of the comedy elements to the film. But I couldn't help but notice that there were some similarities between Gosling's character in this film and his take on Ken in the movie Barbie that was released in 2023. This was still a decent enough film, which I would happily see again.
Number 7.
At number 7 is Monkey Man, which I gave 4 stars on Letterboxd. So Monkey Man I thought was a rather decent film. It's also a film that I have brought to watch over and over again on digital. The music, the pacing, the acting, and even some of the action scenes in this was great. It felt like a different version of John Wick, but except it had its own unique style to the film, which I did enjoy a lot. I would happily see this film again.
Number 6.
At number 6 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I gave 4 stars over on Letterboxd. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was a decent movie. I know it's being released on Disney Plus around the world on August 2nd, 2024. So if you have seen it and want to rewatch it again, or if you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, then it will be available from then. But that being said though, I thought the CGI in this was great. It sort of reminded me of the same world as Avatar, which is another 20th Century Studios movie. I've seen this movie once in the cinema with my mum, and safe to say that we both enjoyed this film together.
Number 5.
Coming in at number 5 is The Iron Claw, which I gave 4 stars over on Letterboxd. Boxing and wrestling isn't my kind of thing, or isn't a movie that I would usually watch, but after coming across The Iron Claw just a few weeks back on Amazon Prime Video here in the UK, and this film being released in cinemas at the beginning of the year here in the UK, I thought it was great, and the acting performances from Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White were phenomenal. It really showed their performances and how strong performances they can give as actors. Also, the story that was told in this film was also a rather interesting watch, and also, in a way, kind of informative as well.
Number 4.
At number 4 is Robot Dreams, which I gave 4 stars over on Letterboxd. This film had to make it to my top 10, coming in at number 4, because the animation in this film is great. The story is done in a rather neat way. I really loved this film, and it's safe to say that actually at some point I would like to buy this movie to keep on digital, because after renting this film, I really did enjoy watching this and would be happy to watch it over and over again. Also love the fact that for most of the film, there is little to no dialogue as well, which I thought was great.
Number 3.
Coming in at number 3 is Late Night with the Devil, which I gave 4 stars over on Letterboxd. Late Night with the Devil is a horror movie that Shudder has made, and I must say that I really enjoyed it. You have the black and white scenes that shows that the parts we are watching are behind the scenes stuff. And then you have the stuff in colour, which shows us that you're watching the fictional TV episode of this show. And I think this will be a great movie to rewatch again around the spooky season later this year.
Number 2.
At number 2 is Abigail, which I gave 4 stars over on Letterboxd. This has got to be in the top 3 movies of 2024 so far. I have seen it more than once in the cinema. I've seen half of it for a third time late at night before heading to sleep, but I would like to rewatch this again sometime in full, because this film, despite it being a horror comedy, I really did enjoy it. There isn't a lot of vampire movies that I do enjoy watching, but this one is definitely up there as one of my favourite modern horror vampire movies I have seen at least The acting in this was great, and I did find the story rather interesting as well.
Number 1.
And finally, clocking in at number 1 is Deadpool and Wolverine, which I gave 4.5 stars over on Letterboxd. Now, before I just give you a little summary of my thoughts on this film, I just want to add that I will be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine in my next episode of the movie wrap-up in full, which is going to be coming out on Sunday at the usual time of 4 PM UK time right here on my YouTube channel, SteveOfficial. But what I can say for now is that the only Marvel film to be released in 2024 on the big screen, and it deserves to be in the top 20 for now, because this film was all-round brilliant. Lots of cameos, lots of fun, lots of moments to laugh out loud over, including a post-credit scene, and I really enjoyed seeing this for the first time in the company of some friends as well, and safe to say they enjoyed it too. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman had some great chemistry with one another, which I enjoyed as well. So there we have it, folks. That is my top 20 movies so far in 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to give it a like, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and let me know some of your favourite watches of 2024 so far in terms of movies that have been released in 2024. Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, I really would appreciate it. And if you are new around here and you like what you see, then feel free to hit that subscribe button down below to become a Stevo. Now, obviously, as mentioned just a few moments ago, your next YouTube video will be coming up on Sunday this weekend, which will be Sunday the 4th of August 2024, where I'll be doing my usual weekly movie wrap-up video for you guys to enjoy, and of course let you guys know in terms of what movies I've watched and stuff like that this week. But until then though, it's goodbye, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again in my next YouTube video.